This NFL Trades March Madness DFS and FCS Week 7 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WinBet. Get started today and you'll get a risk-free bet up to $500. Terms and conditions apply. Get the details at wynnbet.com and download the app today. We're also brought to you by BetQL. Your bracket may bust, but your bankroll never has to with BetQL. Use promo code March30 for 30% off the entire year of BetQL. That's BetQL.com, promo code March30. Also brought to you by Better Than Vegas. Better Than Vegas is your home to free daily video picks from SGPN. It's like YouTube for sports gambling. Make sure to subscribe to our profile at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BTV. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BTV. We're also brought to you by Odds Crowd. Odds Crowd has a ton of free fantasy betting contests, including a 2K season-long MLB contest and a $500 weekly contest. Download their app today over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/odds. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/odds. We're also brought to you by Pickswise. Follow the Pickswise Capper contest at pickswise.com for free picks and analysis throughout the tournament from the likes of John Rothstein, Rashad Phillips, Jeff Nadu, and more. See which expert is trending hot as they battle it out for a winner takes all $10,000 prize over at pickswise.com. Finally, we're brought to you by Better Edge. Better Edge operates like a stock exchange for the sports world. Pick the teams you like and have someone else buy the other side. Sign up at betteredge.com. Promo code SGP for a free $10 play. That's BETTOR edge.com. Promo code SGP. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer Dog?
Is this bonus? Does this count as bonus content? This feels like bonus content. It's Friday morning. Almost afternoon, but on the West Coast, we're joined in studio with Colby Dan, aka the Dantabase. We're streaming live over on YouTube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. What's happening, Colby?
Just waiting for tomorrow, buddy. You got lots of football, lots of basketball. I'm glad. I mean, we got the TV in the studio set up on some FCS football.
Colby is watching a replay from the UC Davis game versus the Idaho Vandals at the Kibbe Dome. Colby asked me if it was okay to put football on, and I've never been so personally insulted in my life. Yes, Colby, it's okay to watch football here at the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Beware what you wish for. That's all I'll say.
Just once, I want Colby to do the proper mic check before the show. He check, and then he comes on. Hey!
Look, it's about energy, buddy. All right? My coach told me that.
And plenty of energy is being brought as Colby continues to break down every college basketball game, individual game previews over on the College Experience feed. Man, but we got so much to hit on. Felt like we had to do a bonus podcast. We of course are going to be doing an Elite 8 podcast, taping that Sunday night after the Elite 8 is set. And there are rumors that we're going to be doing a Saturday night live stream, a game companion game cast there with the Syracuse game. Tweet us at Gambling Podcast. Should we do the first half, second half? Kramer, what do you think?
My thought was, I think it would make more sense to join the game from the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. And then we can also decide, maybe this sucks. Maybe we're jinxing Buddy Boeheim. Maybe we need to abort this situation.
I like that. We're going to try it, see how it goes. Okay. So let's lock that in. First half of the Syracuse game, which is the Saturday night game. We'll be doing a live game cast on youtube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. Maybe we'll also throw it out on the Twitter at Gambling Podcast. Man, so much to get to. Oh man. There's just so much happening. Of course, make sure you check out wynnbet.com. That's wynnbet.com. Yes, wynnbet.com. It's March Madness. I mean, all you got to do, head over to wynnbet.com, get involved in that risk-free bet. Again, it's risk-free, up to $500. Are you kidding me? Again, very easy to sign up over at wynnbet.com. WYNN. If you want to win, head over to the Win. That's right. I came up with that myself. Improvised some nice little copy for the good folks over at WynnBet. Again, they got you covered. They got live wagering, in-game wagering. Odds boost, parlay boost. They got that sweet parlay wheel you spin after you put in a parlay. Again, check it out. Win.com. Download the app today. Terms and conditions apply. Let's go, baby. Win bet is happening.
I apologize, Sean. I was distracted there. So having some technological issues. The locker room live is live.
Okay.
We are good. I see our boy Jong in there. Shout out to Jong.
Shout out to Jong. Miguel Lugo checking in on the YouTube chat wants to know if we switched internet providers.
Why are you going to bring that up, bro? Why are we bringing that up? Hold on. I got to switch to mic. Why are we bringing that up? Obviously this has been some adversity, like every great championship run, adversity must be overcome. And right now the heater that we are collectively on, the only way it's stopped is these motherfuckers over at Spectrum. And again, shout out to Gilberto yesterday came out.
Yeah.
Really, he put some, he applied all the pressure he could to our lines. Looks like we're going to have a problem solved. Maybe, maybe not. Look, let's not jinx it.
And
it's working right now.
And to the guy working at Spectrum, I noticed in his truck he had a Detroit Lions hard hat. So this guy has just spent a lifetime of associating himself with loser franchises.
Now I'm a skeptic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him what he thought about the Jared Goff trade, but again, the fact that he has to work at Spectrum.
You ask him that question, you're not getting internet for a while, dude.
Man, all right, let's get into it. We haven't talked NFL in a little while, and we're planning on hitting on a little free agency, and just perfect time to fire it up because there's a number of big blockbuster trades.
Can we just a quick warning for the audience?
Yes.
Before we get to the Eagles trade, sit down, make sure you have some water. I don't want anyone passing out from the extreme spin zone you're about to go through. Okay.
Yeah,
if you're pregnant, maybe this isn't for you. Turn it off, turn the dial down. Children also, maybe, I don't know if it's appropriate. This is a lot of G's we're going to be putting the body through.
Dolphins, they traded the number 3 pick to the 49ers. In exchange, they got the 49ers 12th pick, a 2021 third round pick, and first round picks in 2022 and 2023. This is huge for this Miami Dolphins team. We were just on the Over 6 podcast, Kramer, a couple of nice, funny Canadian sports fans of the podcast. They're also Miami Dolphins fans, and I just had to level with them that Tua sucks. They have a great team. They have tons of draft capital. I like Brian Flores, but Tua still sucks. You were trying to be a good guest and kind of lend a sympathetic ear that maybe Tua, he's going to figure it out. If I was the Dolphins, I would have stayed put at number 3. And draft Justin Fields, Trey Lance, whoever they thought was the better play there, or maybe even trade up to 2 and get Zach Wilson if you love Zach Wilson.
But you would draft 2 first round quarterbacks back to back.
Yeah,
year after year.
I mean, look, you know what? The great well, again, I wouldn't have drafted 2 in the first place, but if I was assigned the GM position in Miami, again, it's a tough spot. I would have tried to trade for Deshaun Watson before a couple things came out. But the other, I would have gone all in on Russell Wilson, or now let's say none of those things happen. I would draft Justin Fields. I think he is going to end up having a better career than Tua, in the same way that the Arizona Cardinals drafted high in the first round back to back. Kyler Murray, you know, again, I think Kyler Murray is flawed, but you have to agree he's much better than Josh Rosen.
Well, they switched coaches. I think Rosen didn't have Kingsbury, right? I don't believe they did.
But,
this is like, to me, it's a commitment. Now, Tua came out early. Like I'm on record by saying I don't think he's going to pan out in the NFL, but I'm just saying it's a commitment. You have to give him the due time.
Right. And again, I didn't make that commitment, but if I was if they assigned me the Dolphins GM role today, I'm drafting a quarterback number 3.
But that's the big thing, right? And I think Colby nails it. These guys did pick him. So if you pick Tua, and sure, maybe you're like, oh, maybe he's not recovering as fast as we thought, which was the angle. Why?
I don't think they'll do it. I think you guys are right. I think they committed to Tua. They're going to stick it out. But as an outsider watching Tua play, the dude sucks.
Yeah, but it's year 1. I mean, there's been quarterbacks that struggled in year 1.
Well, without being a sympathist, I would say, sample size too small. To Colby's point though, absolutely. If you think you got the wrong guy, you absolutely go take a guy. The best leaders, the best organizations, the best franchises, they don't hold on to a bad thing just because they don't want to look bad.
I don't think their assessment is, this guy's a bust yet. I think they're saying,
but I'm saying if you think that and say you have a Josh Rosen, and it helped that new people came in, because generally new thought is what changes the world.
They should have signed Fitzpatrick back though.
Sure, whatever. You're falling off the wagon here. The point is, I'm of the camp. Sean, I do enjoy how Sean he finds his island, he sets up his fucking chair, and he makes a fire. He pitches a tent, and he's prepared to hold there for the long term. I'm less likely to make a definitive opinion on Tua this early, so I would say it is interesting what they're doing, because they are, in a way, it seems like they're putting themselves in a situation where if they are wrong, they're going to have some equity next year to correct it. So I think they are not fully committing to Tua. I think they're fully committing to seeing what Tua has to have this season.
Yeah, and maybe that's what it is. They're fully committing to Tua for this year. But what does it say about the 49ers, who claim to still be in on Jimmy G? They claim they're going to redshirt whatever quarterback they're going to draft and then keep Jimmy G there. It feels like that doesn't work in the NFL. Every time these NFL organizations draft a quarterback in the top 10, they're like, we're going to let him sit. We're going to let him figure it out. And then immediately they play. Patrick Mahomes was the rare recent exception, but it seems like if you draft a guy top 5, he's going to be playing. And most certainly the 49ers moved up to grab a quarterback. It seems like it's going Trey Lance, could be Justin Fields. What do you think, Kramer? What do the 49ers do with this pick?
First of all, I can't wait to look back on the John Lynch experience and remember when people thought he was a genius. First of all, second of all, you only trade up for a quarterback, so they're obviously taking a quarterback. Third, when you have a quarterback, he's your guy. Yeah, and he's your guy until there's the next one, right? It's like a woman. You don't get rid of the old one until you have a new one. It's not smart. You don't want a gap in coverage. No, insurance companies don't like that. You shouldn't either. So I do think the Jimmy G thing is more of a Kyle Shanahan is obviously frustrated. He's obviously, Kyle Shanahan is a smart guy in the room. So he obviously knows his system works. What he now knows also is that Jimmy G isn't the guy he needs. So and if there's one thing I would also pile on, Kyle Shanahan, smart guy, he probably realizes he needs to get someone who can move, because the way of the league and the way to gain more efficiencies over your opponent is to also have a quarterback that can confuse the defenses. Period.
Jimmy G was one that I feel like was even more like, you knew what the hell are you doing, giving him that much money. He's so unproven.
Well, and I guess to their credit, the deal with Jimmy G was very front loaded. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they can get out of the Jimmy G deal pretty easily with not a ton of dead cap space.
The quarterback deals, though, it's like, again, you're not bidding against like his actual talent level or production. You're bidding against the fact that he's one of X amount of quarterbacks who could be the guy.
Let me just give you one example though for the Tua thing. Drew Brees, first 3 years. Well, I mean, his first year he only started one game, but the next 2 years he started through 29 touchdowns, 31 interceptions,
and Drew Brees
10 and 17.
And Drew Brees wouldn't make it in today's NFL.
Yeah,
period. Like it's just the game has changed. You have to show up and be ready from day one. You can't fail. If very few guys fail, get another shot and have success.
Yeah, I mean, look at Peyton Manning was horrible that first year, and he kind of turned it around in his second year. But the leash right now for NFL starting quarterbacks,
you get 1.5 to 2 seasons.
Yeah, is incredibly short. And Kramer, I think you made a good point there when you're talking about Miami. They're kind of hedging their bet and getting some Tua insurance. If Tua sucks, then in 2022 they have a ton of draft capital to draft the quarterback. And you could kind of say the same thing for the Eagles trade. The Eagles traded number 6 and the 156 overall to the Dolphins in exchange for the 12th overall. They get 123rd overall and one of those Dolphins 2022 first round picks. So, and now there was of course rumors that the Eagles are trying to trade up to number 3 to get Zach Wilson. I think they have a relationship with Joe Douglas. I think they probably asked Joe Douglas, "Hey, we want Zach Wilson. Is he going to be available at number 3?" Joe Douglas, wants to keep the relationship, he probably told him, no, we're taking Zach Wilson. Again, I could be talking myself into the fact that we have Zach Wilson in our fantasy future thing.
Look, as a Jets fan, they're going to find a way to fuck that up. They're going to start Darnold. They're going to extend him 10 more years.
Yeah. I think the news is out that Zach Wilson, and you're already seeing the betting odds adjust because now like all the other dominoes, it feels like are coming into play. So I think people realize Zach Wilson probably locked up at number 2, but now the Eagles, they were in love with Zach Wilson. I'm glad they didn't actually do the trade to trade up. I still want to see that year of Jalen Hurts, but now, there's a possibility 2022, they have 3 first-round picks in case it doesn't work out with Hurts. Then you have a ton of draft capital to actually find the guy you like and
extend Flacco.
Yeah, exactly. Extend Flacco and shout out to Joe Flacco. Well, only 1.5 million on the cap this year.
Delaware Blue Hen, baby.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk Delaware football at the end when we do some FCS picks.
The Eagles trade was a smart trade, but it also.
But also, I'm kind of nervous because the 12th pick I think is much easier for Howie Roseman to fuck up. At number 6,
I was going to say,
especially with 4 quarterbacks going, it felt like we were either going to get Jamar Chase or Pitts, and that seems like a slam dunk. Both those guys, by all accounts, seem hard to fuck up that pick. Now at 12, there's definitely a chance you can fuck that pick up. I still think there's it's not out of the realm of possibility that they wait and see how things shake out and then trade back up into the top 10. We'll see, but I don't think that's off the table yet. And it's really hard to grade the trade overall until you see what they actually do with it. But
if Fields drops, do you draft him?
If he's there at number 12, I don't know, man. That's tough. I've seen enough out of Fields that he's interesting, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird because the Eagles, Lurie came out and said, supposedly, I want to build around Hurts. I don't want a QB competition. But then clearly there's some news about them moving up. So maybe that was smoke and they were trying to do that to distract. This kind of interesting.
This trade to me tells me that the owner got his way, and the owner so much got his way, he took the toys out of the GM's hands and sent him down the board. And that to me, like, and I think to your point, I listened to you and your Eagles friends speak, and you guys were all touting the fact that there's no way, like Howie Roseman can fuck up a draft pick, but he can't fuck up 6. 6 would be really hard. And he gets pushed down to the exact zone where next thing you know, he's talking you into an undersized, like weak side linebacker.
No, it's terrifying. It's terrifying that if they actually keep the 12th pick, because a number 12 pick is very easy to miss on. So that aspect I'm terrified of, but the fact that we're going to have most likely 3 first-round picks in 2022 and a team that is desperately needs young talent, 2022 we're going to have cap space. So I like that aspect, but I was kind of talking myself into, Chase, Pitts. I've watched a number of their highlight reels. Yeah. I was already seeing them in Eagles green, and maybe that's still a reality. I think there's still a couple moves to be made because now what do the Falcons do? The Falcons are in a quarterback market. Are they happy with the 4th quarterback? Now 49ers take Trey Lance. Actually, I think Justin Fields in Atlanta kind of makes sense. Him in the South in a dome. I don't know.
I'm a skeptic on Fields, man. I really am. He struggled in
Ohio
a lot
State
of
quarterbacks are wonky, but then he balled out in that Clemson game, and I do like a guy. He had a chip on his shoulder for that Clemson game. That's why I was on Ohio State money line. That's why I faded him against Alabama. The idea that that was their Super Bowl.
Indiana, he played Indiana and he played Northwestern in the Big Ten championship, and I thought he looked pretty bad in those performances. I'm a skeptic still. I know he has some nice raw skills, but I got to see more, especially with that offensive system they run at Ohio State.
Kramer, any other? We haven't talked a ton of NFL yet, or we've kind of been all in March Madness. Any other NFL action items you want to get out? Kenny Galladay signing. Well, are you worried about his hip?
Last thing I'll say, no, obviously he wanted the fuck out of Detroit. I mean, let's be. I mean, if any of us were Kenny Galladay, we would want the same thing. We all make fun of the Detroit. I don't make fun of the Detroit fan base.
You did pick them to get the franchise NFC championship,
but I was high on them last year because of Kenny Galladay. Now he's coming home. Look, first of all, the Miami Dolphins. If I'm a fan of the Dolphins,
this is, if you're any sort of one of these like nerdy draft guys,
you're wet in the pants right now because they are just dominating this draft equity game.
Yeah,
they're
the draft chart is through the roof.
Loading up, and I think they have the right coach. I think obviously we're seeing the new wave of the Belichick disciple, knows what they're doing. First Flores, now Judge, about to ascend in New York.
Oh man!
So yes, as far as
don't forget Mangini.
As far as the trade, I'm saying the new wave.
Man, genius. His Sopranos cameo is all time.
As far as if you ask me how the Giants did in the offseason,
yes,
it's impossible to say I'm not happy. I'm thrilled. They got players that can play and contribute. And this is the exact opposite approach as Gettleman normally has. This had a purpose. This made sense. But most importantly, Sean, this shows everyone that Joe Judge is not scaring people away because of his genuine, hard-nosed approach to football. And like I told you, Bill Parcells, Tom Coughlin, they had a reputation for being hard asses, but the players that played for him loved him. Lawrence Taylor speaks of Bill Parcells as if he's a deity, and LT doesn't speak that way about anyone.
Parcells did let him smoke crack before games,
but it's all about being hard when you need to be hard, Sean, and soft when you need to be soft. You know this. That's why you wear gym shorts to a strip club. So what we're talking about here is a starting caliber cornerback, a absolute stud of a wide receiver.
I think now Kenny Galladay. I like as a receiver.
I'm not doing this right now.
Kenny Galladay, I like as a receiver. I think the hip is a concern. Adoree Jackson.
When did you go to medical school, Sean?
Adoree Jackson. I mean, the Titans have cap space and need a cornerback. You're not nervous that they let Adoree Jackson walk? The guy, he's touched the ball 7 times.
I trust
in
Logan
the past
Ryan.
2 years. 7 times he's interacted with the football in the past 2 years.
He's exactly what I want from a number 2. Okay. A guy who's gonna ball out a little bit. He's gonna give us something in special teams.
Again, the overall
and if you
issue with the Giants is they still don't have a quarterback. Like they should be involved.
See, now I know you're scared because you're deflecting to other parts that you want.
No, I mean I can break down Adoree Jackson and say why he sucks. It's pretty obvious.
I mean, why don't you go look to see how your boys over at PFF rate him? Pretty fucking high. So we can play the game of judgment. Yeah. Anyway. As you said, right? It's hard to judge the trade until we get on the field. We see what happens.
Oh, I think it's hard to judge the Eagles trade until I see who they end up drafting.
Exactly. But for everything else, you can apply judgment right away.
Yes.
So I think you want to talk about winning the offseason. Gettleman has done everything he needed to do. This team had holes. They filled them. They also re-signed a 26-year-old stud defensive lineman, Leonard Williams. I mean, this is not a position. Again, top 5 pick, Colby, stud coming out of USC. He's all the way back. So everything is fine. You can talk shit about the quarterback.
Yeah,
but everyone is running to a place where you can have a quarterback who can run a little bit. That's the transition this offseason. Daniel Jones, we know this, Sean, second highest top speed in the National Football League.
So they're going to be doing more read option with Daniel Jones, and I think Daniel Jones is going to be a design runner.
Alex Smith is available.
2021.
We can talk about this all we want. The season starts in September. We know that we'll be in Las Vegas, beautiful Las Vegas. I will have a Giants Super Bowl future. I will have a Giants to win the division future. I am all in because my man Joe Judge has a full off season to deploy the actual rise.
Does it concern you though? Jones year 1, 24 touchdowns, 12 picks. This past year, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
The offensive line is quietly getting better too, and that's the part.
So quiet, very quietly. I mean, the problem with Daniel Jones is he doesn't understand when he's being pressured. I don't know how you fix that or figure that out. But let's talk.
Sean. I mean, come on. You got simple systems. You got it all figured out.
Well, I mean, again, Napoleon said you keep your Napoleon, the great general.
I'm listening.
Said you keep it so simple. Your enemy knows what you're doing so that you have the counter to it. In the same way, apply to the Syracuse 2-3 zone. They know you're going to play the 2-3 zone, and they know every play you're going to run against it, so they know how to adjust to it.
And Kyle Rudolph did say Daniel Jones could be a Kirk Cousins style quarterback.
Hey. That's the ceiling. Look out.
We didn't even talk about Kyle Rudolph. What a great signing for the locker room. All rise.
BetQL. It's a great signing. You want to sign up for BetQL? Use that promo code March 30. 30% off the entire year.
let's be honest. Gambling is a full-time gig. You're going to be doing it every day. Like, come on. March Madness, NBA, NFL, MLB. Sign up now so you get that 30% off for the entire calendar year. Great investment, great off-season signing for you, the listener. They got the 5-star plays, great analysis. They got a sweet ass algorithm over there that help you win. Bet smarter, not harder. BetQL.com. Odds Crowd, baby. That's right. Odds Crowd. You want to know who's in second place in the March Madness contest?
Who's that, Sean?
Yours truly. But again, maybe you missed the Odds Crowd March Madness contest, or you're in 11th like Kramer. Still plenty of chances to win. They have a $500 weekly contest, which I'm also going to be entering and dominating in. A $2,000 MLB season-long contest. Again, it's all completely free. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/odds. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/odds. That'll take you right to the app. Sign up. Download the app. Very easy to use. Very easy to win. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/odds. Odds Crowd. All right, we're going to be doing a college basketball DFS. I'll kick it off. You know who I'm throwing in there.
Wait, is it Buddy?
Buddy Boeheim. You pick 3 guards, 3 forwards, 2 utility players. Buddy Boeheim. Again, this guy is just shooting lights out, getting a handful of rebounds. He's playing with his dad. How can you not root for this kid? He was even cold in that first half of their last game. Got hot late.
Athletes, bro.
He's one of the more confident shooters in the tournament right now. Buddy Boeheim, $8,100. Kramer,
I think he's cooling off.
How
no,
so?
I just didn't. I didn't want to pay. I figured that everyone
we would have this covered.
Well, I figured you would be talking about him. My first guy, Butler from Baylor. I just, I think there's going to be some points in the Villanova Baylor game is the game that I overloaded. I took the most players from because I think there's going to be some points. So I probably chalky, but give me Butler 7,400. I think there's a lot of potential for some 3-point shots in this game.
Colby.
I stayed in that game, and I think you're making. I mean, I get it. Butler's their leading scorer, but Davion Mitchell with the Gillespie injury, I think Mitchell, their point, is going to be able to exploit the Wildcats. And at 7,500, I think he's a great play.
Well, I stayed in that Villanova Baylor game, and I got a little discounted price, I think, on Justin Moore. There was a lot of concern guard out of Villanova that the ankle would be an issue, but we've kind of seen, especially lately, coming off a 6 for 12 shooting, 2 for 5 from behind the arc. He's getting some assists as well. 5 last game. I think he is poised to kind of help steer this ship without Gillespie, and he's certainly been involved in the offense. He's only $6,100, which I feel like is a pretty good price.
He'll be chalky
against this, and maybe he's not worth playing because he's going to be so chalky. But
I got him too, Sean.
Oh, you got him as well.
I got him as well.
Yeah, I think it's. In some ways, like it's not a great GPP play, but his price allows. I mean, I think the floor on what he's going to do again. I think there's going to be some 3-pointers in this game. I think there's just going to be points in general. So I like getting players from this game. It's hard to not like him at that price point.
Yeah.
So it's back to you, Sean.
Oral Roberts. I know they got a couple big scores. They were super high priced. This guy, a little bit of a discount, $5,100. The guard, Carlos Jurgens. He's been quietly making a couple moves here. 4 for 6 in his last game. Get you a couple, maybe like 3 rebounds a game. Decent from the line. 39 of 50 so far this season. And maybe, maybe Arkansas really tries to slow down some of their some of the big weapons. Limit. How do you pronounce the guy? Abe Mass.
I butcher it every time.
Amos.
Amos.
Maybe they go out of their way to shut him down, and Jurgens ends up getting some open looks.
Maybe they go out of the way to change the spelling of his name, huh?
Just all right, him and Coburn. I don't understand where they're getting these pronunciations.
You mean Cockburn? All right, so Jurgens, I also have him again. Okay. I like the angle. It seems like we're reading from the same script, Sean. Where is Carlos Jurgens from?
No idea.
Just take a guess. Come on, Carlos.
Mexico.
Estonia. Not even close. He's a white guy. I tricked you there.
Wow.
There's an umlaut over the U. I don't know, some German, Eastern European action over there. Yeah. So I'm also on him again. I think I've not done a ton of the DFS for college basketball, but it does seem like you really need to nail some guys in the $5,000 to $6,000 price point because the guys at the bottom are just not getting minutes.
Yeah.
And the guys at the top are just so much inflated. So Juergens again fits that mold because to your point, Sean, Arkansas is going to be tough to go inside on. And I think he's going to be able to work the 2 point, the college mid range.
I went with JD Note from Arkansas. He's had a couple bad games in a row, so I think his value went down. Take away that Texas Tech and Colgate game, he had some strong performances prior. He dropped 27 points against Missouri, 21 against South Carolina. This guy at 6,300. I expect him to get back on track. How many times can you be cold? Right? He's been cold like 2 or 3 games in a row, and before that he was on fire. I expect him to come back and have a strong performance against the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles.
I went back to the Syracuse game, $6,200. Dolezaj, who I know Colby hates.
I can't stand this game.
You do hate that.
He's just this lanky ass white
so
dude.
Soft.
But he's soft, but he puts up numbers: 12
so
points,
soft.
6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. The guy really fills up the stat sheet. And again, I want more exposure to this Syracuse game because I'm all in on Q's.
He might struggle.
$6,200.
I'm just he looks like the actor from Superbad, and it just looks like a guy who just needs to be shoved in a locker. And I'm just visualizing Houston doing that.
And maybe he's totally outmatched, but I'm this Syracuse team clearly has something going, and I want the most exposure out of Syracuse as I can.
Coming back to the Nova Baylor game, I'm going to play Robinson Earl. I think again I Baylor, we discussed this coming into the tourney. Baylor's downfall is going to be giving up too many fucking points. So I'm playing 2 Nova guys. Obviously, we're high on Nova. 8,500. Robinson Earl from Villanova.
I like that play. I'm still on my guards because when we went through more, he's a utility player for me.
I'm sorry.
I got Lucas Williamson at 5,500 for Loyola.
Oh, you love that guy.
Great defender, and I also think he presents a little bit of a matchup. I'm interested to see the chess match going on between Oregon State and who they line up on Williamson. So I think there's opportunity for Williamson to really be. He's such a tall guard, man, and I just think it's a dangerous guard.
Well, he can score in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. So at 5,500 too, I think pretty good value for a guy to get steals and block shots.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, how do I switch my lineup around and get him in there? That's a good price. I missed him.
Well, and I'm going back to the Baylor Nova game. I'm actually playing one guy that I'm not betting on his team, and that's Mark Vital or Vital for the Baylor Bears. Well, how do you pronounce it, Ryan?
No, I'm laughing that your logic to picking your DFS team is guys you're betting on.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I'm high on these teams, why am I going to go against it? I like making my rooting interest easy. Here's the thing with Baylor. He is getting a shit ton of rebounds, 15 rebounds. I know it was Iowa State, but still, that's a shit ton of rebounds. It's good to have a couple of these guys maybe in the mid range. He's only 5,600. That can get you a lot of like rebounding points because you can't just load up on all scores. You need some guys that are going to kind of round out the rest of the stat sheet. What'd you do?
You mean guys like Cameron Krutwig, 8,300?
Yes.
I mean,
let's go, baby.
I'll be honest. My lineup started with Robinson Earl and Krutwig, and I spent a shitload of money. I kind of established that nice floor, and then I moved on from there. But how do you not start Krutwig? He's going to work these Oregon State dudes. These
so fun.
There's nothing.
They play. I mean, if you don't.
He's a great.
If you don't like Loyola, you don't like college basketball.
But if you, the worst thing for a really athletic dude who can jump out of the building is a guy who's just going to show you 15 up and unders and finish with that slippery noodle.
Got the perfect angle off the. He uses the glass perfectly. He's a coach's wet dream. Cameron Krutwig.
He's gonna be the first pick at the YMCA for a long time.
I also have him as my utility player. Colby, what are you doing?
You don't put Cameron Krutwig as a utility player.
I like storing some big dogs in the utility spot.
You saved some money then at the utility position, huh?
Yeah.
I went with Michael Mayer, guard forward. This is for my forward spot, 5,400. This guy played big in the last Baylor game. He can drill threes like the whole Baylor team can, and I expect some scoring. He was kind of clutch too. He might have a big game. So I know it wasn't a lot of money I spent here at 5,400, but I think it's solid play.
Kramer, I like I said, I got Krutwig. Put him in the utility closet. That's kind of the grimy grinded out blue collar spot that you expect for Cameron Crutwig to be hanging out.
Yeah, so now we're at the part of where I had to start saving some money. So first up, I wanted a Houston guy. They can everyone on that team, it feels like, can score some points. Getting 19 minutes in the past 2 tourney games, Fabian White Jr. Again, kind of throwing a dart. I think of all the teams to throw a dart, Houston, not a bad. Baylor's another good example. Like lots of dudes can score, lots of dudes can do stuff. So I'm going to take White here, 4,700, saved a little bit of money. And I have 2 spots left. I don't know about you guys.
Colby, what do you got?
Well, you guys mentioned I had Robinson Earl. I forgot to tell you that when you spoke on that, but then I'm going to go to, what's his name? Well, now I mentioned more. Who do I have left? I have
Colby, pay attention.
Well, no, you guys are going out of position here.
You're
right. I have the Houston Cougars. I'm going to go with Graham. Their forward. Look, I understand this is another low value play because I spent up on Robinson Earl. I spent up on Davion Mitchell. So I did go with Justin Graham. It's their best forward, and guess what? Syracuse is large, so someone's gonna have to. They're gonna have to go with a bigger lineup at times.
Colby knows about large men.
Long.
How many do you have left, Sean?
I have 2 left.
Oh, so we're doing fine.
Yes, we are doing fine. This guy, he's kind of my GPP long shot, the moon shot. Francis Lasis for Oral Roberts, the forward. He's been averaging a decent number of minutes, 21 minutes a game. He's okay from 3-point. Again, just kind of. He's not amazing. He's not an amazing player. He's $4,500. I'll tell you why though.
Okay.
He's dating a chick from what fucking team? I don't know. He is dating a chick.
There was a beautiful mind moment earlier
from Texas A&M who's also in the Sweet 16.
Oh.
You don't want to embarrass yourself. My wife never went to one of my rec league games, but if she did, I would really lay it out on the line. Having a woman there to impress, that'll help you get a couple of 50-50 balls. I'm going on the emotional angle here for Francis.
You scored the ball so nicely. Let me.
I'm surprised though. We're thus far. All of us went Robinson Earl, which I like.
No, I didn't have Robinson Earl.
Okay, but no one's gone O'Banner, who's just had monster games. Against Florida, he had 28 and 11. Against Ohio State, he had 30 and 11.
It's very expensive.
Even the last time he played Arkansas, but you kind of know.
Hard for me to take
get.
a guy in Oral Roberts for 8,900. That my logic was really that like these guys could get their
His
ass.
Numbers are fucking regardless.
I agree.
Yeah.
I watch him play. Like again, he's going to be another first pick at the Y for a very long time. And I couldn't. He shouldn't be the highest price guy. I'm not doing it.
My last guy on this is Caleb Daniels. I think there's decent value at 4,300. Considering Gillespie's not there, he gets about 10 points a game. Someone's got to score more points here, especially against Baylor. So I like Caleb Daniels. I actually love that. One of my favorite plays I did on the sheet is Caleb Daniels.
All right, Colby skipped me. Now I'm going to go to my second dart throw on Houston. Tremont Mark again, 4,800. Between the 2 Houston players, I spent 9,500. Felt like a good way to attack some points. I think the Cuse defense we're gonna see some points fall from Houston, and so Mark 4,800, first utility player. Sean,
yeah, I had some some other guy in this spot, but when you said Williamson, I had Gerard Lucas in there.
Loser.
And he's an Oregon State. I'm a Loyola guy. Let's ramble on. Williamson at 5,500. If that was Kramer, I think that made the point there. I love that value. And
that was Colby. I appreciate the credit.
All right. Well, I'll give you guys both a half point credit there. But yeah, I'm all in on Williamson. That was a great angle.
I mean, and this guy is just all around, and he's playing at a higher level. I think in the tournament. Senior was part of that Final Four team a few years ago.
Him and Crutwig.
Yeah, and he does everything. He's going to get you points, rebound, assists, steals, blocks. Just every little aspect of the game, and that's why Loyola is a team that looks so dangerous.
Last guy for me. You guys missed this. Obviously, I am the efficiency master. Jalen Williams is only 4,900. He got the start last game. This is wrong. He shouldn't be priced this cheap as a starter for Arkansas. Perhaps you're too worried about your bets, Sean, to give the fans some value. But Jalen Williams for 4,900, he's in there.
Nice. I like it. That's a good one. That's a good play. I like it.
You can go adjust your lineup now. If you want.
I might go a banner too. Yeah.
He's a starter for under 5,000. I'm sure you guys just find those on a regular Tuesday. All right, Sean, what are we doing next?
What are we doing next? I'll tell you. We are going to talk
about sex.
No. Going to talk a little It's better than sex, right? It's FCS Week 7 football. That's right. We're going there. Oh, but before we do, want to shout out Pickswise.com. Shout out to listener Jacob Herr, competing with the big guns. John Rothstein and Jeff Nadu, Rashad Phillips, all battling out for a $10,000 winner take all prize. Guys over at Pickswise, they do good stuff. Free picks, all the games, every day, all the sports. You know, again, if it's free, it's for me. Pickswise.com/March-Madness. Pickswise.com/March-Madness. And while you're grabbing some of those free Pickswise picks, why don't you head over to betteredge.com. Better Edge, the better way to bet. Betting with no vig. Again, there's no house. You're just buying and selling different positions. Legal in more than 40 states. That's right.
Oh my God.
They got a bunch of cool contests as well going over there. They got the March Madness, the $10, the $100 high stakes contest. Again, just enter into the contest. Couple bucks, nice chance to win. And again, very easy to use. They got some social stuff going as well. Best part is use our promo code over at betteredge.com. Promo code SGP. Get a free $10 bet. BETTOR edge.com. Promo code SGP and you get a free $10 bet. Doesn't get any better. Shout out to Colby. Colby's still driving hard with the FCS football. It's nice to get back into it now.
I went 4-1 last week on my locks, so I'm feeling as much as you want to give me a hard time about my 54% in March Madness. FCS football coming through.
Yeah, I don't know if
Kramer, are these numbers updated for
it's March Madness? Probably not.
Okay,
probably not.
But either way, last time we checked, I was dominating against the spread. Colby doing okay, pretty solid. Kramer again.
I'm only here to run the camera. That's what's going on.
Camera operator Kramer. Hey, nice guy. I'd like to have him. Big part of the show. But
as someone used to tell me all the time, nice guy, not a profession, Sean.
All right, we got some good matchups here for FCS, and unfortunately, we were going to talk North Dakota Youngstown State game, like the bounce back spot for North Dakota, but that game has been canceled due to COVID. Let's talk Delaware Blue Hens. Big Blue Hen fan, of course. Noted alumni Joe Flacco on the Philadelphia Eagles. Delaware Blue Hen legend. Colby, you made the right choice. It looks so far as far as teams to back that weren't a top 10, top 20 overall FCS team, because Delaware is off to an amazing start. They're a 9.5 point favorite heading to Kingston, Rhode Island to square off against Rhode Island.
Haven't trailed this season. They returned the opening kick of the season for a touchdown.
They've given up 3 points in 2 games. Yeah. This is dominating.
And guys, I had the T-shirt at home. It was just, I went on a hike. I ran into the coyote. I ran into all these signs that told me to back my Blue Hens here. And they're led by their quarterback Nolan Henderson, playing great ball this year. 34 of 51, 361 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
It's amazing.
And I like they have a 1-2 punch in the backfield. Dejan Lee and also Corey Spurl.
What I'm worried about, and we saw this with the North Dakota team a little bit. Delaware 2-0, both games at home. Now they're going on the road. Road favorite Rhode Island, meanwhile, 2-0 and solid victories in both. I mean, they beat Villanova by 3.
But overtime games in both.
Yes,
for the Rams,
and they've kind of been tested, and now they're coming home undefeated and catching 9.5 points. That seems a bit crazy, but how do you go against the Delaware right now?
Well, and Rhode Island's completely surprising. They lost a ton of players to the transfer portal, brand new coach coming in, but they brought in also a quarterback, Maryland's old starting quarterback, Kasim Hill. He's been very good running that offense for the Rams, but no, dude, this Delaware Blue Hen defense is for real, and they got a week to prep for this. Oh, come on.
They're coming off a bye.
Yeah. Give me the Blue Hens minus the points. They're going to roll. Rhode Island only scored 10 points in the regular before overtime against Albany last week. Well, Albany's defense isn't very elite. So I think potentially looking at something 1-score game for for Rhode Island.
Kramer, where are you at?
You know, Delaware, this Philly runoff area, which now we know is definitely confirmed. Joe Flacco, an Eagles fan growing up.
Yeah, why would he not be?
I just think that when you travel up north to Rhode Island for a business trip, some shit can go down that you're not ready for. We've seen this, right? Shout out to the podcast, Crime Town. Rhode Island's a serious place, and I know nothing about what it's like to travel up there in the CAA. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's a little bit like that trip to Syracuse in the ACC. Rhode Island hold serve at home.
Okay.
Dare I say money line?
Love it.
Love it. Now I feel so much better about Delaware -9.5. I was considering
37-0.
This might be a lock.
Look out for Delaware. Incarnate Ward, who again, I love that. I almost don't want to know what Incarnate Word is about, because I feel like once I learn what it's about, I'll be disappointed. It's the college's name.
It's cuss versus curse. That's the Incarnate Word.
Oh, okay.
Cuss.
They're going at Nichols, where Nichols is a 7-point home favorite. Nichols, of course, got destroyed by Sam Houston State, who just looks like a buzzsaw in this FCS, season right now.
What's that sound like?
I don't know how they're not. I mean, if you're looking at the top 25, I don't know how Sam Houston State is not number 1, 3-0, and by an insane margin. I mean, James Madison's 3-0. North Dakota State's number 2 at 5-1. Weber State 2-0. Weber State, however you want to pronounce it.
Weber.
South Dakota State 4-1. How are they all ahead of Sam Houston State? Not to get sidetracked though, but Incarnate Ward, correct me if I'm wrong, they're undefeated.
Yep.
Our buddy Rod in his FCS write up over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com. He doesn't understand how they're not a dog. I don't either. I mean, Nichols, certainly it is a bounce back spot after giving up 71, but they still gave up 71. Incarnate Ward's defense, they've had issues. I mean, they gave up 45 points in a win, but I think this is going to be a shootout. I think 7 points is too much. I'm going IW here.
I'm with you. This is an arena football game essentially. But look, Incarnate Word, Cameron Ward, their quarterback's a stud. He's already thrown for over 1,000 yards.
The quarterback's name is Word as well.
Ward. Ward.
That's so confusing.
14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But the guy you really want to highlight, and if I'm the coach, if this guy doesn't get more touches this game, something's wrong. Kevin Brown, their running back, their leading rusher, 36 rushes, 503 yards. The guy's getting 14 yards a rush.
That's video
Give the
game.
fucking guy the ball.
That's video game stats. IDub. I think that's what we're going to refer to him.
IDub. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, look. I think we talk about this with FBS, the Dream Crusher scenario, the spot where effectively you mentally collapse a little bit because you realize that the pinnacle is no longer there. And for some of these players and maybe the coach, the pinnacle of not giving up 70 points in a football game ended last week.
Yeah, that's got to hurt your confidence.
And that's got to, let's fade that. I'm agreeing with you guys this time.
All right. The Southern Illinois Salukis laying 10 as they head to Springfield, Missouri against Missouri State. I don't know. Tough to fade Stone Labanowitz, Colby, who's now the Southern Illinois starting quarterback.
I think they've used a slew of different quarterbacks. And Southern Illinois coming off of a royal ass whooping against South Dakota State. So I don't feel comfortable saying for sure we're going to see Labanowitz starting, even though he went 8 of 9, but only 40 some yards.
Well, and tell me a little bit about Jaden Johnson.
Jaden Johnson is what? Is that the wideout for them?
That's isn't that the Missouri State quarterback?
Oh yeah, 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions.
Yeah, 1 touchdown, 6 picks. I don't want any part of this game, but I think I'm going to have to take Missouri State catching 10 as a home dog.
Well, look, our guy Bobby Petrino seems to be turning a corner. I don't know how they're doing this with 1 touchdown, 6 picks as Jaden Johnson's their guy. They've been going with the 3 quarterback system, but I mean, dude, they upset the past two two games they've played, they've upset South Dakota, the Coyotes on the road, had a pick 6 in that game. I watched that game. And then last week coming up with a big win against Northern Iowa. Now granted, Northern Iowa was down their quarterback, but that's still a huge win for a program that was such dog shit recently. So they're beginning to believe. And I guess, I mean, it is scary to think a guy who completes, I mean, he's only completing 56% of his passes for 6 yards of completion. So every play is a wide receiver screen. That's the only thing I can assume. And then one of every 5
these FCS teams though do figure out a way to win without a quarterback, and especially compete at least.
The quarterback play is pretty shitty in FCS. I don't think we should be. I mean, which team is Stone? Is it Labanowitz or Labanowitz?
Labanowitz.
Labanowitz. Yeah. What team's he on?
He's on Southern Illinois.
And that would disagree with both of you guys.
Yes.
Let's take that team.
I'm on Missouri State. Give me the motorcycle rash face.
Feels so good right now.
Petrino. Good luck. Good luck with that.
This one is a interesting game. James Madison coming off a COVID pause. They're heading to William Mary where they're laying 11.5 points in Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm all over William and Mary here. This is a game you're going to get up for already. With William and Mary, I did a deep dive on James Madison and how they were dealing with. I mean, the coach is already addressing that some of the players are dealing with COVID fatigue.
He's saying they might not even have they have enough bodies to play this game.
Again, assuming this game goes off, which by all accounts it is, 11.5 points for a motivated, hungry William and Mary team that's been practicing the entire time.
Healthy.
And
I think you want to talk about a campus where COVID protocols are impossible to deploy. JMU. I mean, back to the culture and just the hotness of the ladies. Like, there's no way they're wearing masks on top and bottom.
Well, and prior to them getting hit with the COVID situation, they had quarterback problems. I mean, they had to block a punt to win that last game. So they made that switch from Cole Johnson to Gage Maloney.
To me, they just don't seem like the number one team right now in the country.
And COVID issues, and we're gonna bring on Jong to talk about this. But COVID issues, when you have the number of scholarship athletes that an FBS team still had an impact. So again, you're chipping away at the number of scholarships, and then you have something like this where you're losing a bunch of your team. Clearly, these guys don't come all the way back if they get it,
and it's a rivalry game.
And it's a rivalry game. I mean, JMU is the big dog on the block. What's up, John?
Really appreciate the extra podcast, fellas. I love it. Friday afternoon.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate the liquor, buddy.
Yes. Shout out to John supporting the studio, getting us some classy Grey Goose and Jameson.
Making sure we stay hydrated. We like that.
Not a problem. I just Kramer, you said you had to coax him a little, the delivery guy, to set let it ride.
I did ask him. He's like, it was like Drizzly or one of those things. So it was a dude from a liquor store. Like, it was like one of those things. And he's like, hey, and he was like clearly in a good mood. I'm like, are you supposed to say something? and then he's like, and I go, let it ride. He goes, let it ride. So I had to, like any good performance, there's someone behind the scenes coaching.
The director. So John, what do you like this weekend? What do you got action wise?
I think Kobe was looking at some UC Davis highlights earlier. I am fading the Idaho schools this week. UC Davis, and Southern Utah are playing both the Idaho schools. So Idaho State for UC Davis and Idaho for Southern.
Idaho State's been chippy this year.
Hold on now, because this is great. First of all, we were informed we should always fade Idaho State.
Right, but that's not been working out.
Hold on. More importantly, Idaho. Long story short, we moved podcast hosting providers. Idaho still not clocked a single download for the college experience. Screw the state of Idaho.
Idaho.
We got to get our shit going mental.
I like that angle. Actually, you're making a lot of sense to me.
and I
do have it on a teaser though, guys.
Oh, okay. Why not do just a fade Idaho parlay? That feels great.
Well, dude, here's one. Here's one not on our sheet. Fade Cal Poly, Eastern Washington on the red turf. Eastern Washington laying 24 points. Cal Poly 0-2, and they gave up 73 to UC Davis. And they also
and their fans are back to not caring about basketball, so they're going to be into the football game.
lot going on there. Any other picks you want to throw out there, John?
Yeah, no, that's pretty it. That's pretty much it. The teaser. And I'll probably do the parlay, the regular parlay on the fading Idaho and Idaho State this weekend. Yeah, no, that's really it. On UC Davis, watch out for Ulonzo Gilliam. He averages 6 yards a carry. So I love UC Davis.
That quarterback fellas. Rodriguez can play too, man.
I just love this conversation.
So many deep nuggets. Appreciate it, John.
All right, bro.
Best of luck with the picks, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Let it ride.
I love how it's
so
Colby just falling in, just casually falling into a backup quarterback discussion. Okay, no, let's move.
Got a couple more games left in the Colby Dant FCS 6-pack. VMI,
best college football team in Virginia.
Wow, shots fired. Laying 4 at Wofford in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Woff. I mean, really, I want to take VMI just because Kramer is a Wofford guy, and he couldn't be more ice cold in the FCS.
Will the heater started after we made our last FCS picks? For the
That's
record,
true.
We haven't made FCS picks since the
Wofford,
heater started.
Wofford is doing the splitting time at quarterback, which a lot of these FCS schools are doing. I think it's a good idea to fade them. And really, the VMI quarterback putting up insane numbers. Reese Udinsky,
he's balling.
353 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 1 pick. I think this number's not high enough. Give me VMI -4. Colby, you with me?
I'm actually, dude. They win close games. They have a good defense.
You think Wofford covers?
Give me a 24-21 VMI win. Wofford gets the cover. I think this is gonna be. Look, if you look,
my Terriers.
VMI
Let's go.
beat Samford in the air raid last week by going for 2 in overtime. They have a 1 point a close win against 1 point win against Furman. So they played a lot of close games.
I feel like we need a ISO camera like from right here just to see Colby's operating.
What is sheet?
He's got a laptop and then he's got a phone on the laptop, so he's got a dual screen experience. It's quite watching the database make calculations. Yeah, of course we're taking Wofford. Let's go. The season's not over. Woff. Plus VMI. Come on.
They're 4-0. They're playing ball.
I like the military as much.
Who
as
would win right now? We know the Hokies have had struggles against some FCS teams. James Madison.
Colby knows this. The VMI.
Furman?
The dudes at VMI. Like, I feel like, I don't know how to say this respectfully, but I feel like a lot of dudes from VMI end up being like in county sheriff departments and things like that. You know what I mean?
Support law enforcement.
I do too, but I'm just saying, like, they don't achieve their goal. If you know what I mean, they're underachievers.
Maybe their goal is to be in law enforcement.
Okay.
Alabama State.
I don't think so. Military Institute.
Lane 3 as they head to Pine Bluff, Arkansas to square off against Arkansas Pine Bluff. What's up, Colby?
Well, this one, I mean, I feel like I just got to give Alabama State some shout outs here because they upset. They were the first team to beat Deion Sanders. Then they've put a photo of him on the scoreboard of him getting toasted and kept it there for the whole weekend. Shout out to Alabama State.
Were they behind the theft of his things in the locker room too? Jesus.
You got to get that figured out. No. And that was
really eating his ass for lunch.
That's kind of my angle on this game is that they won their Super Bowl. They beat Deion Sanders. They put an image of him on the scoreboard getting toasted. Now they go on the road and they face an Arkansas Pine Bluff team, which would be easy to overlook, but they're a 3-point home dog. They're going to be in this game.
I'm with you. And Skylar Perry, the quarterback for the Golden Lions. Love that name.
And Arkansas Pine Bluff, nice win against Grambling State. So I think they're getting overlooked here. I love Arkansas Pine Bluff here catching 3.
Yeah, man, that quarterback Perry can play, man. He's 6 touchdowns, 1 interception on the season. Got a nice set of receivers in John Wilkes and Harry Ballard III. Kramer, I know you're excited about Harry Ballard III.
You guys are going to be disappointed in me with this one, but I am going to agree with you here. I think it's wise to fade a university that's been touting themselves as the team to take down Deion Sanders.
I mean, hey, it's a fun thing to tout.
I feel like it's almost like they think they're in the reality show and they get to have an episode now because they beat Deion. Yeah, you obviously fade that situation. They've been letting these kids violate the protocols too. Like, do we know this game hasn't been canceled yet?
Yeah.
They could be going pretty hard.
That's very true.
Protocol.
That's a strong COVID game.
Let's do it. Let's.
Oh shit, we got a lock dog tease.
Lock dog and bonus lock presented by Better Than Vegas, where we're giving out free daily video picks from the entire SGPN crew.
Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BTV, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BTV, where you can check out our profile. Subscribe there so you never miss a free video pick. You can also set up your own account, tweet out some videos, become the next Better Than Vegas superstar like XFL Jim. And you can do that all over on betterthan.vegas, but sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BTV. That's where you get the picks from us and subscribe to our page. Kramer,
Lock.
what is your lock?
William and Mary.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Dog. Incarnate Word.
Oh my God.
Bonus.
Colby, you see what he's doing here?
Bonus lock. Arkansas Pine Bluff. Let's fucking go.
Okay.
Smart people follow other smart people. Let's go.
Hey, I see people shitting on me. I'm still at 54% in my March Madness.
I'm
guys,
sorry.
right?
I meant to say this earlier.
Yeah.
Colby, stop holding on to 54%. I saw this earlier. Shout out to the YouTube chat. We love you guys. Smash that subscribe button. Sean, someone accused you of hitting the pen earlier, going through the DFS line.
So I saw that. No, I was just
maybe some secondhand. There was a little low pressure system moving through the studio.
I mean, just being within.
just because it's daytime.
Kramer is like Pigpen, except with vape smoke. It just there's like a cloud around him.
What do we preach as championship coaches? We preach you practice the way you play. All right, you don't change things just because it's morning, just because it's night. You keep it consistent. You stick to your ritual, and you dominate the content realm.
Love it.
Sorry.
Well, this is interesting because I was going to go William and Mary lock.
That was mine too. Now I'm audible.
Wait, what do you mean?
I'll put
audible.
You know what? In honor of Joe Flacco, give me Delaware minus
Damn it.
9.5 as the lock for my dog. I'm going to go Arkansas Pine Bluff money line, and for my bonus lock, I'll go William and Mary plus 11.5. That's just such a good spot for them. Colby, close things out. What do you got here?
I like how Sean doesn't view the first lock in the same.
I have a lock power ranking. There's your lock, and then a bonus lock.
And in his mind, by putting it as the bonus lock, it's less important.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
It's a bonus lock.
Continue, Colby. I'm sorry.
Look, if it was the real
fucking,
I mean, it's clear.
There's some real
there's a
female
clear
logic here.
What do you mean? There's a starter.
A lock is
and
a
there's
lock is
backup.
a lock. What are you, that predictive model guy, Sean?
No.
Well, I actually apply a lower weight average to these locks.
No, I just have within my power rankings slightly. I lean lock versus bonus lock. If you would,
wait a second.
Dataless punk. Colby, give everyone your picks.
Give me look. I was gonna go. Look, both you guys covered both my locks. I guess I'll go. Give me Delaware. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ride with my hands.
Don't change, man. Don't change.
And my dog is Incarnate Word.
I dub.
Yeah, and bonus play. I'm gonna take you to Murray State, the Racers minus 11 against Eastern Illinois.
Yeah,
off the board.
Fuck Eastern Illinois.
Yeah.
That's
off
where Tony.
The board.
That's where Jimmy G came from.
And Tony Romo.
Fucking bum.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jimmy G. All right, so what do we got coming up? Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We will be doing a live game cast for the first half of the Syracuse game Saturday night, tomorrow night,
Saturday
and then
night.
Sunday night, Elite 8 preview picks podcast immediately after the Sweet 16 drops. It is a quick turnaround, so probably want to stream that one live so you don't miss it. But we'll be putting it out right away, so you can get that and get some winners.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Q should be blowing them out, so maybe we can get started early, Sean, in your eyes at least.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
All rise.
Kramer. Let it ride.